Good morning, everyone. What is today? Thursday. Happy Thursday. I have the lovely Tara here with me this morning, and we are going to be talking about what happened for her in the Hansen Method. Tara had a full thyroidectomy in 2011 and was struggling with just getting a few things balanced out. And I wanted to have her share her story here with you today. So thank you, Tara, for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. So tell everybody who you are, what you do, all of that.
Okay, well, I'm Tara, and I've been a stay-at-home mom now for a little over 12 years since my oldest was born. Before that, I was a public school teacher. My degree's in early childhood education. And so I did that for about 4.5 years. And yeah, so I'm just a mom, and I have a couple part-time things going, which are good. And just taking care of my kids and homeschooling. I do homeschool.
Yeah, super busy. And just so everybody knows, Tara is the amazing person behind a lot of the magic that happens here.
Yay!
She helps me so much. So I love this story, and hopefully this is okay to share, Tara. But so Tara went through my program, and it was towards the end of her program. I was like, man, things are like really picking up. And I was like, kind of, I don't know, expressing a little angst or like, got to get all these things done. And Tara was like, she's such a nice person. She's like, if I lived closer to you, I would help you out. And I was like, well, everything I do is online. And she was like, oh. And then we went into our coaching call. And that weekend, I like started to message her, and I was like, hey, are you serious about helping me? Because I would totally pay you. And then I was like, no, she was probably just saying that to be nice. And then she messaged me on Monday, and I was like, that's totally a God thing, right?
Yes, it was. It's been such a blessing for me, because it's just another way for me to be able to be at home and help with all the extras. You know, my girls have lots of ideas and extracurricular activities, so that money is there for that. And then I'm getting to help you and continue to still be involved in the program, which I just love. So yeah, it's been a blessing for me too.
Yes, and we love you, Tara.
Thank you.
I think I say that about everybody we work with. I think I've said that in every video, every interview, but
and we're just all cool like that. So,
well, that's the thing. I only work with people who I like. So no. Well, so far that's been true.
Yeah,
that's been true. Mm-hmm. All right. So tell everybody. So you joined in April, right? Mm-hmm. Was it like end of April?
Yeah, it was maybe the second week in April, somewhere in there.
Okay. So tell everybody what was going on for you before joining the Hansen Method.
So, post thyroidectomy in 2011, my oldest was around 2, and then I later became pregnant with my second. And when I was pregnant, I usually felt a little better, but then of course after that I would have the lack of energy. And the other thing that was a constant for me was yo-yoing with my weight. You know, I would gain it, lose it, gain it back. And then what happened earlier, was sort of towards the end of 2019 and then into the beginning of this year, was something sort of new. I'd had I'm technically hypothyroid, but I would have symptoms of hyper and hypo. And so I'd had the heart palpitations in the past, but it turned into full-blown anxiety attacks, which I'd never experienced before. And so by the beginning of this year, that compiled with this extreme fatigue, my husband was having to basically come in every morning and say, you have to get up now. You know, the girls need you. You got to get started. And I was just so frustrated. And so I remember probably around February, after having a month of this consistent feeling this way, I just prayed, you know, God, please help me find a way to fix this. I can't take care of my girls. I can't homeschool. I can't do all the things that I need to do because I feel so bad. And God is amazing. And he answered my prayers. I just happened on Facebook one day and saw one of your posts, and I listened to your video, and it was like, she's lived my life. She knows what I've been through, you know? So I immediately, I think, requested to join. And then it wasn't very long before I signed up to talk to you. And the rest is history, as they say. It really was just an answer to prayers to find it. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
And I remember, yes. I don't remember the beginning of this because this has been so long, but we had the conversation, and I think did you pay for it on the phone, or did you go talk to your husband?
I asked if I could talk to my husband first. Yep. You know, he was at the point too where whatever you need to do to feel better, you know, whatever it takes. And so when I found you online and showed it to him, he's like, well, yeah, call, you know, talk to her, see what she has to say. And so, of course, I just wanted to obviously run it by him before making a final decision. But he was on board from the beginning too.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. And I think it's so important in this journey to have supportive spouses, yes. You know, and we're starting to offer to have husbands come on the calls with the wives so that they can understand what's going on and how this is affecting, you know, their spouse and all of those things. So walk us through the Hansen Method. What was that like for you? What started to happen? You know, what changes did you notice? All of the dirt.
Well, I'll tell you, I felt like I was taking a mini course in nutrition and basically about anatomy, about my thyroid. I learned so many things that I just had no clue about. And I have a fantastic endocrinologist who's always been good about discussing my labs with me. I've been very blessed with that. But food was never discussed. And so I've always been someone who tries to eat healthy most of the time. I'm not, you know, into eating just junk all the time. And I couldn't understand why I would eat what I thought was healthy and I still didn't feel better. And so the Hansen Method really opened my eyes to that. It was like, you know, like I said, a class in nutrition. And within probably the first, I'd say 2 weeks, I could tell a huge difference in my energy. That was the first thing. And then just having the support. I think going in, you know, I have a supportive husband and family, but other people like you, and then the other women that were in the group with me that really knew what I was going through. That was sort of a huge motivator, I guess. Like, I can do this because I'm not the only one, and I have all this help at my fingertips.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I think is missing a lot from the traditional medical model is the support. Okay, guys, I might have to run and get her an apple or something. I will be like, I'm in my kitchen, so I'll be right there. But this is just mom life, you guys. Okay, I'm sorry.
We understand, trust me.
Okay, so energy started to improve. Halfway through your program, we started adding in, I think halfway or something like that, we started adding in the hair analysis. So tell everybody what that looked like for you really quickly, and I promise I'll be listening. I just need to grab an apple.
You're good.
Okay.
So it was super easy. I mean, you just, obviously I mailed some hair to you. And then I learned through that hair analysis that I had all kinds of gut issues going on. And so that for me was sort of a blocker, if you will, from my 2 main things when I started were I wanted more energy and I wanted to lose weight again. And so I wasn't really losing the weight, and we couldn't figure out why. And so that's what it was when we address some of those gut issues. And I still continue, it's still something in progress, if you will. But by the time we corrected that, I think within, I don't know, 6-7 weeks, I was down 10 pounds. So the hair analysis, I feel like, was a huge help in figuring out what was blocking my body, why I was not achieving the goal that I wanted to achieve.
Yeah. Well, and I remember like myself being a little frustrated because I was like,
You were.
She's doing everything right. I don't understand.
The funniest thing was the day that I discovered the little farm down the road, the little farm store, and they had microgreens. And I told you I was adding that to my eggs, and you're like, "You're eating microgreens. Why can't you lose weight? What's the problem? You're eating really good food." So that was a huge help, and I think it helped you, with your frustration and mine as well, to really know what was going on.
Yeah. And I think the blessing of working with you was I knew that we needed to look deeper, right? But everybody in the beginning told me, Shannon, start with the basics with these women. And I was like, we're doing the basics.
Right.
And yes, you have more energy, but there's still this other piece here that isn't quite doing what it needs to do.
Yes.
And I'm not okay with mediocre results. I mean, unless you're not doing the work, right? Unless it's you not doing the work. But I was like, Tara's showing up to the calls. She's communicating with me. We are doing coaching calls. She's making all of the changes and the recommendations that I'm making. Something else is going on. And I remember when I got your hair analysis back, I was like, there's like not just one, there's like 5 of these issues. I actually think it was 4. 5 is an exaggeration, but I'm pretty sure there was like 4 things going on that I was like, oh. Like,
no wonder.
Yeah. Here we are bumping up against this wall. And now we know what it is, right? And we're able to make some of those adjustments to get you out of that.
Right.
Which was like, right?
Yes. Well, I think you get to a certain point, and I think most women in the group could attest to this. You start to think, am I crazy? Like, is this all in my head? And I felt that for so long, and having you say, no, there is something else. We're going to figure it out. And you are not willing to give up. That was such a blessing. And it made my frustration lessened, because I thought, she's going to help me figure this out. So it's going to work out. And it really has. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and just to go back to your doctor, like your doctor is phenomenal, right? Like, not just, and hopefully this is okay for me to share, but she does the testing and does more of a complete panel, right? Where she's testing T3, she's testing all of these other things to look at what's going on and putting you on the appropriate medication because you had a thyroidectomy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I was just talking to my mom last night, and my mom also had a thyroidectomy. She had thyroid cancer, so a little bit different. And I was like, Mom, I keep forgetting to ask you, what medication are you on? And we're walking through that. And I was like, you may want to talk to your doctor about, a T3, something like Cytomel or something, because you don't have a thyroid. And anyways, so you came in with all of that already.
Yes.
So your doctor is amazing, whereas other people.
I've been shocked when I see things in the group that the lack of care that a lot of these doctors have, and it's really sad. So I know I've been blessed, but even in that blessing, like I said, diet was never discussed. Now, obviously he's an endocrinologist. He deals with diabetics, but for me, it was, eat vegetables and fruit, and, don't eat a lot of fast food. But there was never let's look at what you're eating. Let's look at what's best for your thyroid. Those type things was never discussed.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so now that it's been lots of months since finishing the program, whatever
Yes.
that is, what is happening for you now? So joined in April, so April, May, June, ended kind of end of June. So
Right.
it's been July, August, September, October, November, 6 months.
Yes. Right.
9 months.
It's crazy.
9 months total. Okay, where are you now? What's going on in Tara's life? What has changed for you?
For another thing, I guess I forgot to mention too, that was sort of a stroke, was my sleep that we really had to work on. I was waking up multiple times in the night, which we discovered had to do with those gut issues, liver, and those type things. But that has been like non-issue almost. I mean, I go to sleep and I sleep well now. And that's
amazing.
That'll make you feel like a human faster than anything, I think. It's actually sleeping. And then I'm continuing to lose weight. So I'm probably down about 15 pounds total, I think now.
Yay.
Somewhere in there. Yeah. So super excited about that. And the energy. I still have energy. And even, I want to make sure that I say this. This program was an education. And the biggest thing I think that I pulled from it was that there's no easy fix. I was susceptible to all the Band-Aids, just like any other woman, I think. I wanted to have more energy and I wanted to lose weight. So I did Shakeology. I did, I don't know, you name it, I did it. Keto, whatever it was. And those were just temporary fixes. What this has been is it's taught me how to completely change my lifestyle. So when I do have a bad day, I just say, okay, it's today. Today's a bad day. What have I eaten? Have I noticed any difference in my sleep? I start going back through all the things that I was taught instead of just saying, well, it's, nothing's working, quit, forget it. I realized that I have the tools now to adjust to help myself feel better after those bad days. And the bad days are really few and far between. Like I feel so much better than I felt in years, honestly.
Yeah. I love that, because that was a big goal of mine, was to teach people not just to do this for 3 months, but to be able to sustain this for a lifetime, and teach you the skills to do exactly what you say, to go back and be like, okay, what's going on with my sleep? What's going on with my diet? And figure out how to make those adjustments so that, again, you don't have to jump from one program to one program to one program, because that confuses the body on a whole other level.
Right. Which was part of my problem, because I was just all over the place. Yeah.
Well, like many of us. So being able to sustain the weight loss, right? And consistent, and still losing it, having the energy to homeschool your kids, and to do all those things that you want to. Any other changes or benefits that you've seen?
I think my skin is better too since I've done it. That's something that I've started to notice. Not just less like breakouts, but like it just has a healthier glow, I feel like, than it used to. And I know that's just because I'm consistently eating well and eating the things my body needs. So that would be another benefit. I'm trying to think the sleep and the energy, that was like after that, I'm like, whatever, because that was just amazing. Those two things were so big for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and when you have energy, you can put your focus on eating better. You can put your focus on spending time with your kids, or whatever you want to do, right? You make those priorities for the energy. Okay. Anything you would tell someone who's thinking about joining the Hansen Method or anything like that?
Do it. I can't express to you how my life has changed by simply, signing up to talk to you. I feel better than I felt in a decade, and you just can't put a price on that. yes, it's a commitment. Yes, there's cost and time and money, but it is worth it exponentially, because I think about all the money that I spent on Shakeology and Herbalife and all those different things, that it lasted for a couple months and that was it. And this is sustainable, and it will change your life forever. It did for me. It worked. It worked for me. And so I go around telling people that, we don't live near each other. So around here, and I tell them all those things, that if you're ready to feel better and make a commitment, then this is what you need to do, because I don't regret it. I don't regret a second of it. And it really has given me all the things I was looking for so long.
Amazing. You're amazing. Thank you so much, Tara, for sharing with us. If you guys have any questions about the Hansen Method or, Tara's journey, I'm sure we can help answer those questions for you. Thank you, Tara.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys on the next.